The silence of the duty bearers to respond to queries that are being raised, or rather concerns that are being raised in respect to Haiti mission, are very loud. The silence is loud. And I want us to look at some two tweets here. Dr. William Mutunga shared a tweet today, during the day, saying, "We are hearing that some of our police officers in the advance team in Haiti have been killed. I am asking the IGP and CS Internal Security." I think IDP is the Inspector General of Police, and CS Internal Security, to answer to my question. If true, the families involved should not keep quiet about the tragedy. This is a statement that was raised by Chief Justice Emeritus Willie Mutunga. And the caliber of the person that raised it, I don't think really needs to be despised, or rather be dismissed. It is 8 hours, I'm shooting this video, 8 hours since this allegation was raised by former Chief Justice William Mutunga, and the duty bearers, both CS Internal Security and Inspector General of Police, are yet to issue a statement or even respond to this. I know very well this is not just a roadside allegation, be it that it is coming from a former Chief Justice, and it must be from an informed point of view. And of course, this is a matter that I want us to look. I know someone might be asking, what is advance team? Advance team are members, of course, intelligence and other officers, members and other officers who are sent just to prepare the ground. They will gather intelligence. They will also know the terrain, the place. They're actually the team that will tell the team coming from Kenya what exactly is on ground. And of course, I agree, there is some concurrence to what William Mutunga is saying, because President William Ruto recent tweet said that the mission is at pre-deployment stage. I think that came from Waziri. What is the meaning of being at pre-deployment? Because that means that perhaps perhaps a team has been dispatched. So what the country needs to understand, if it is true, some members of advanced team has been dispatched. Another tweet came from Kabando, is saying, USA has advised its citizens of insecurity in Nairobi, bandits besieging Baringo, Marakwet, Lamu, Samburu, Turkana. Ruto says Haiti mission is on. Our judiciary says no. USA Congress says no cash for a jinx mission. Ruto's greed for dollar by means God save Kenya. That has really pointed some bit of confusion in terms of this. Now there is some other part I want you to look at, and this is a statement from Barack Muluka, a communication strategist who also worked for Musalia Mudavadi. So I want us to look at these two developments. One is at the burial of the family, the burial of the officer, this gentleman is known as Inspector General of Police Walter Nyamato, who died in a Washington DC hotel on their way to Haiti. He was part of the advance team. The burial happened yesterday on Saturday. And the way state officers were tight-lipped on this, everything was scripted, and I'm told the family were not allowed to say so much or question so much on this. And I think this is what the Nation, I think the Standard wrote. Haiti, family of officer has no idea how he died. And interestingly, this officer was just reading here that I just read something here that he was after the funeral, he told the Saturday Standard, the father, that the family had already procured the services of a lawyer as they embark on seeking the truth about the death of Nyankeya, who until his demise was a personal assistant to the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Nurgabo. So this was a statement that was raised in terms of that. And I think KTN News did this story.
Now, the family revealed to KTN News that Kenyan police handed over the body without providing an autopsy report. Tough questions are now emerging as Kenyan authorities remain tight-lipped while the family seeks to pursue legal redress. KTN's Francis Ontomwa reports.
Deep in Nyatieko village, Nyamira County, a hushed burial for an officer who died in mysterious circumstances. This is not the farewell Walter Nyankeya Nyamato would have envisioned for himself, nor for his grieving family. Even for all the solidarity displayed by mourners, this grief is solitary.
Wakaniambia kwamba mwili umefungwa na kama familia hatutauona. Tukavumilia mpaka kesho yake Ijumaa. Wakatuita tukaenda Lee Funeral Home. Ndio mwili ukafunguliwa. Nikapata ni yeye.
But just who was Walter Nyankeya Nyamato? The 39-year-old was a junior officer who worked as a personal assistant to the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Nurgabo. Police sources say that his body was discovered in a hotel room a day after their arrival in Washington, D.C., lying on his belly. Police sources further say that he was part of an advance team on reconnaissance mission ahead of the planned controversial deployment of 1,000 police officers to Haiti. The absence of top security chiefs was loud. This burial is taking place without the family's knowledge of what exactly killed their son. The family expected government to come with some answers, but not even Godfrey Otunge, Director Operations Administration of Police, came with any. He was part of the UN delegation that was preparing for the Haiti mission.
Sisi kama National Police Service may lose a lot because when this thing happened, Police Chindwa, what can we do? Where can we start from?
There have been contradictory statements on how the officer ended up in Washington, D.C. in the UN-backed mission. Some sources say he was on a training program, while others say he was en route to or from Haiti. The family has told KTN that his brother, who lives in the US, was barred from viewing the body. Instead, the family was advised that investigations are now being taken up by US authorities.
Tuliwauliza watupatie hata provisional report ya kuonyesha postmortem ilionyesha nini. Hawakutupea hata death certificate ile ya kutoka America. Hawakutupatia.
Eulogized as a smart and a diligent cop who took his job seriously, his death has sparked intense pain and profound anger. A cop whose death is deeply shrouded in mystery. Kenya announced plans to hold the Haiti mission until the violence-racked nation installs a new constitutional authority.
So, Barack Muluka did an article today, and this article was in the Saturday Standard. Look at, and I want you to get this article. You can even Google. History won't be kind to Ruto if he sends Kenyan's police to Haiti. History won't be kind to President Ruto if he sends Kenyan's police to Haiti. And has written, is given some hard-hitting statements to the president. And is saying that humanitarian crisis the European powers are telling the world is suspect and must change the story. He's saying this. It is difficult to see why America wants Kenyan youth to walk into gangster bullets that the US is running away from. This humanitarian hocus pocus is not convincing. We need a different story. For the US, Haiti has been a commercial playground for 100 years. And it began with 1915 military intervention to safeguard US investments. The US technically pulled out in 1934 following restoration order. However, the US has always remained unofficially in Haiti. Even after that, in 1957, it installed the Dr. Francis Devalier, Papa Doc, and later on his son, Baby Doc Devalier Jr., as the first democratically elected president. Jean Bertrand Aristide was captured by Western powers. So, Muluka is saying that what has been sold to this country, Kenya, and any other country that is going to intervene in the Haiti issue is not being bought, because there is so much insistence on humanitarian aid. And even President Ruto has been telling the public that we can't see our brothers and sisters suffering in Haiti while we are just staring. We need to do something. And here is a very pertinent question. There is recently after PM, the Bonoko PM came here and signed a deal. He went and violence broke in Haiti. And because he could not go back to the country, he went to some port somewhere, some island, was stuck there, and then was pushed to resign. America thought that if that PM would resign, then maybe Haiti mission, not Haiti mission, that the gangsters would actually cool down. But they retaliated and said they don't care about resignation of that PM. For them, they are running a revolution to change their politics and maybe their economy. So that was their strong position on this. What has really puzzled many is how we are then banking on a presidential council that is supposed to be formed allegedly by US, and they're trying to consolidate the team there. The gangsters have refused, they're not part of that. But we literally signed a deal. We were so desperate to even sign this deal with the PM. Remember, this PM did not have even official mandate, because he was elected, he took over from Moise, the one who was killed by gangsters, by these gangs. But after he was picked, there was no Chief Justice even to swear him in. So he didn't even take the reins of power. There was no parliament or senate in Haiti. So there was no legal mandate that the said PM took, because there was no Chief Justice to swear him. There was no parliament or senate in that country to help get reins of power. So literally speaking, we actually got and signed a deal with the Bonoko leader. Just to speak the truth, we signed a deal with the Bonoko leader. And if you want to know the level of secrecy here is alarming. The day that PM resigned, our PS for Foreign Affairs, Corel Siongei, made a tweet that that mission had been halted, and because now there was no PM. Later in the evening, President William Ruto received a phone call from Anthony Blinken, speaking on behalf of America, who is in charge of African affairs. And after that call, President then changed and made a U-turn that the mission is on course. We are waiting for that presidential council. So you can see the way we are pushing to this with tooth and nail. But there is a lot of messaging gaps. The transparency question is not very clear. Even the US Congress has declined to approve Biden's budget to support this mission, arguing that Kenya did not okay it. So let's look at this. There's some few things that needs to be addressed. Looking at all this confusion that arose from this Haiti mission, there is something we need to do as a country. And number one, I think the duty bearers should reveal the details of the deal. Why exactly are we going to Haiti? Because it's not the humanitarian question. Remember, even us here in Samburu, we still have our own problems that we've not yet solved. So what is that deal that we signed? How exactly is us as a country going to benefit? We are talking of reciprocal, a reciprocal deal, so that siku moja tukiwa na shida unaweza kutusaidia. This is a country that is struggling. It's far end Caribbean nation. We don't share anything. We are not importing anything there. Neither are we exporting anything to that country. We are not importing anything from Haiti. Neither are we exporting anything from that country. So why are we really pushing ourselves? What is in it for us? And that is why I think we need to see the details of the deal. Number 3, there must be clear set-up communication on this mission. The Chief Justice is raising some very serious allegations there. I think it is very prudent for duty bearers to come out clear and explain, because sometimes if you don't fail to respond, then it will be a one-sided story that will be told. The public will buy what the CJ is saying. But if you come and clear the air and say, this exactly is what it is, then I think you will have given the public good communication. Number 3, set out clear objectives that maybe people need to understand and outline the measures of protecting human rights of their officers. Just like there is a humanitarian ground of us going to Haiti, there should be a an outline of how the rights of the officers are going to be protected. What exactly is it? If indeed there is a report to this, then everything needs to be laid clear. But the confusion that has made all this is very suspect. And I don't think the least they can do is just to explain and communication be clear. Thank you.